We all need a vacation now and then to relax, recharge and enjoy some downtime.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. Regardless of the benefits of vacations, however, if you're a video game character, you might want to consider avoiding them, because most holidays in video games are enough to put you off the concept for life. Here are 7 video game vacations from hell that would really make you want to just stay in the office and do more work. Enjoy, and beware spoilers for the following games.
Not yet. Here we are. Good. Jace, look at this place. Unbelievable.
Paradise.
Hey, Nikki, where are we again?
Island's not on the map. Let's hit it. Do some exploring.
At first glance, Far Cry 3's Rook Island seemed to have a lot to recommend them if you can get past the obnoxious spring break bros having a noisy beach party mere meters from your sun lounger.
Yeah! Guys! I'm on a boat!
There are white sand beaches, lush greenery, and that thing the water does where it's one colour and then another darker colour a bit further out. And then where it starts is like no colour, and then it...
Far Cry 3!
Fine. So that's probably why Jason Brody and his crew of insufferable Instagram influencers have chosen to take their vacation there, seemingly to celebrate one of them getting their pilot's license.
To my brother Riley for getting his pilot's license. Where the hell is that mother?
Is that just for bropeller planes, or are you also qualified for bromercial flights?
Check this out. Are those real? You getting this? You recording? Oh, yeah. My man Jason brings the heat.
Hey, put that down. Go now. Go.
Okay, we got it. We're leaving. Let's go, man. What a dick.
Sadly for everyone, except those people who are just trying to read Game of Thrones by the pool in peace, Jason and Co.'s vacation takes a turn for the worse when they're talked into going skydiving by a local DJ.
You're crazy, Jay. I learned from the best.
This DJ turns out to be in league with a bunch of pirates, and not the fun of the Caribbean kind. So the Brody bus takes an unexpected detour into pirate country. For a start, the entire place is infested with horrible pirates who will kidnap unwary tourists and gleefully torture them.
What do we have here? Grant and Jason from California, huh? Well, I hope your mama and your papa really love you, because you two white boys, you look very expensive.
Then there's the fact that you can't walk 5 feet without a deadly animal flinging themselves at you fang first from out of the wilderness. Plus, and this definitely wasn't mentioned in the brochure, the only way to survive is to get a magical tattoo, become one with the jungle, and spend literally days stabbing people, taking hallucinogenic drugs, stabbing tigers, becoming one with the jungle some more, and then possibly slitting your crying girlfriend's throat, depending on where you come down on that sort of thing. So, not a good time overall. Still, I bet you on Instagram this looked like the best vacation ever.
Dude, there's a huge rock under there. How am I supposed to sleep? It's gonna hurt like hell.
Pipe down! Didn't you say you weren't gonna make any noise?
Yo, senpai, can't you go just a little further back?
Nope. There's a slope just past here. I'd roll down the hill in my sleep. If you don't like it here, go back to the first year tent.
Okay, real talk about camping for a second. Camping is awful. It's always a little bit colder than you prepared for. You have to sleep on the ground with only a bit of canvas between you and the elements. It always rains and the water always gets in your tent. There's bears, probably, and you're afraid of them. There's nowhere to take a proper shower or wash your hands or use a proper toilet. Maybe like 40, 45 minutes? Alright, well, in the interests of time, let's just say that camping is bad, so already the school camping trip on which you and the students of Yasagami High go in Persona 4 Golden was doomed to failure from the start. Things go from bad to worse when your friends Yukiko and Chie try to make curry for dinner, because it turns out they are the kind of comically inept cooks who don't really exist in real life and have created something that is not only revolting but apparently also physically impossible to eat unless you have a high enough courage level.
Okay then, chow time!
Hey!
In addition to this, the two other boys you're hanging out with, Yosuke and Kanji, are what could charitably be described as sex pests, and you must spend your free time trying to convince them not to sneak off and bother the girls while they're trying to sleep. Still, there's always that healthy outdoor living that camping enthusiasts are always going on about. Maybe that will save this trip.
It's freezing!
No, it turns out that the water is freezing.
So that's why no one else was here. Good thing we noticed before we went in.
And also someone has been throwing up in it for a unspecified but clearly quite long amount of time. And yet, still the second most enjoyable camping trip I've ever been on. Right after that time the drunken belligerent Razorlight got into my tent at Glastonbury, but right behind the time I got killed by the Blair Witch. Seriously, camping.
If you're keen on a vacation to Southeast Asia or are just plagued by constantly under-seasoned food, you might consider a backpacking trip through the lush, verdant rainforest of Let's Go Jungle's Island of Spice. There's loads here for the discerning tourist. Beautiful nature to admire, a warm, temperate climate, and some truly fascinating fauna that really has to be seen to be believed. To paraphrase this arcade game's preposterous backstory, it turns out that local scientists discovered a special mushroom that causes accelerated biological growth so that the jungle could be restored to its former glory after a particularly nasty war. Unfortunately, we all know what accelerated biological growth is scientific shorthand for. That's right, giant spiders. The upshot is that Let's Go Jungle protagonists Ben and Norah aren't having the vacation of their dreams. Or at least not unless they eat an entire block of Monterey Jack before bedtime on the regs. Maybe it all worked out for the best though, because at the start of the game, Ben and Norah's relationship is on the rocks. And if the movie Speed taught us anything, it's that high pressure situations bring couples together. That, and never take a bus in LA.
Did they ever find your kidney?
No. The game even handily provides a co-op compatibility rating at the end of every session, so you can see just how much Ben and Norah are failing to repair their relationship based on your crappy shooting. It's worth noting, however, that according to Let's Go Jungle, the key to a happy relationship is less based on mutual interests, physical attraction, and a shared sense of humour, and more based on avoiding car accidents. Let's maybe not go jungle next time, hey?
Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with me.
At the end of Duke Nukem 3D, Duke pronounces that after a few days of R&R, he'll be ready for some more action. Fans wondering exactly what form Duke's vacay would take had their question answered in the follow-up expansion pack, Duke Caribbean: Life's a Beach, which showed us what happened on Duke's post-game getaway. Spoiler alert, a lot of aliens happened. Yes, seems that Duke punting the alien overlord's eyeball through an American football goal didn't have the permanent effect that Duke was hoping for, and his extraterrestrial enemies are back, having set up a new breeding ground in the Caribbean. Ironically, exactly where Duke chose to take his vacation. At least the hordes of enemies who have turned up to ruin Duke's holiday have dressed the part, donning Hawaiian shirts, shorts, and sunglasses for the occasion. Which takes some doing when you've got 3 eyes, so well done. So instead of unwinding after a hard time killing aliens, Duke then goes on history's most violent busman's holiday, fighting bad guys through water parks, beaches, hotels, tropical lagoons, and cruise ships.
You're blocking my sun, asswipe.
In fact, I'm not 100% sure that this is something that actually happened and not just a fever dream Duke had brought on by overwork. Evidence 4 includes the fact that all of your guns are water pistols, the preponderance of voodoo, and the fact that one of your most powerful weapons is an exploding pineapple. And also the fact that your health is bananas. Yeah, it's not the only thing that's bananas, Duke. Maybe lay off the steroids next time.
Papa Shango, I'm bearing some 80. Handful of fingertips, toss them up like confetti. Stable of corpse bitches, I'm a pimp of the dead. Come with a zombie, I put a stake in your head. Look, you want...
An all-inclusive resort holiday is just the ticket if your vacation objectives are 1, to spend all day lying by the pool, and 2, to daily eat your own weight in buffet foods. And nothing could be more affordable than that at vacationdeluxe.com.
Sorry, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get a brand deal. And nothing could spoil your resort holiday good time except an island-wide sunscreen shortage or a zombie outbreak that turns the resort guests into flesh-eating undead ghouls. Especially except that. That's the holiday from hell in which your chosen survivor finds themselves in Dead Island, where they're stranded in the gruesome aftermath of such an outbreak, with nary a Instagrammable umbrella cocktail or giant pool inflatable to lighten the mood. Instead of enjoying the swim-up bar or the Balearic chill house sounds of DJ Daiquiri, you're fighting for your life, lopping off the limbs of the walking dead with all the surgical precision of a panicky axe murderer. Ugh, but it's your only option, other than to simply lay down and become the all-you-can-eat human buffet that these monsters so crave. But honestly, that kind of thing happens very, very rarely on the kind of premium luxury resort holiday experiences provided by your, and this is where your luxury all-inclusive resort brand name could be. Just pick up the phone, talk sponsorships. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city. My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me. That old Stobart charm, I guess.
Paris syndrome is a condition experienced by some people who go on vacation to Paris, caused by shock at discovering that Paris is not what they expected it to be. I think we can safely assume that American tourist George Stobart from Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templar suffers from this, because no one expects Paris to be a place where clowns bomb the cafe you're in while you're trying to have a cafe au lait. Definitely enough to put you off the City of Lights, that. As if being blown up by Bozo here isn't enough of a vacation ruiner, George then gets embroiled in a vast Templar conspiracy that leads to him being beaten up, shot at, kidnapped, and having to solve a bunch of puzzles.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that.
He also has to spend a not inconsiderable amount of his own money trekking all over the world, visiting, among other places, Syria, Scotland and Ireland, where he gets what I assume is known as island syndrome, when he's harassed by a goat. And that's where the game ends, I assume. Weird ending, but I respect them for sticking with it.
No, you need to let the goat hit you, and then you move the farming machinery when the goat's removed.
I said that's the end of the game. R.I.P. George.
No one needs a holiday more than Mario. Between his time spent plumbing, being a doctor, saving kidnapped people, being a professional go-kart driver, taking part in MMA fights, he's holding down about 15 different jobs. 16 if you count ape kidnapping, but that's really more of a hobby. Anyway, it looks like Mario will finally be getting some much-needed downtime when, at the start of Super Mario Sunshine, he and Peach, and also Peach's entourage of weird, lame mushroom people, are on their way to the tropical Isle Delfino in Peach's lavishly appointed private jet, which looks a bit like the inside of a wedding cake.
Oh, look at that!
The in-flight entertainment is a welcome video telling people about the island, which makes it sound amazing, promising natural splendor, world-class resort facilities, an amusement park, and succulent seafood, the prospect of which, I won't lie, sends Mario into what looks like a deeply erotic reverie.
That shadow!
All right, Mario, People can see you, you know. Sadly, the prospect of a relaxing vacation doesn't last long. As soon as Mario, Peach, and her indentured mushroom servants land on the island, it becomes apparent that someone has wrecked up the place with a load of paint, and that someone looks a lot like Mario. In fact, Mario has been on holiday for less than 10 minutes before he's thrown in jail, kept overnight, and then tried and convicted of vandalism in the ludicrous kangaroo court that passes for justice on Isle Delfino. He couldn't even get to the Italian consulate, because there isn't one. Still, consider yourself lucky, Mario. Isle Delfino still has the death penalty. Anyway, instead of enjoying the sunshine and erotic seafood, Mario is now stuck with hundreds of hours of community service, which he doesn't deserve. Well, okay, I mean, he does deserve it for all that ape kidnapping, but that's beside the point.
Go straight that way. You can't miss the mess, pal. Your first job's to get rid of all that ugliness. And remember, we'll be watching you, pal.
Thanks for watching this video, brought to you by the Trade Council for not going on holiday anymore because, let's face it, they're always a little bit disappointing, kind of stressful, expensive. Instead, why not have a staycation, a YouTube holiday, as it were, which is what I call watching this video by OutsideXbox, which is about, let's say, it's about the times you made your own fun in video games by throwing away the rulebook and doing your own damn thing. Or you could watch this video, another little holiday from Outside Extra here, which is about the time games were so meta, so Charlie Kaufman, that they just baked your noodle. Yeah? Watch it.